Hello everyone, Don and Don back with the next progress report on my war Corsair. Alright, well, I was waiting on fittings to show up and radiators, or coolers to show up. The fittings were expected on Saturday, which was yesterday, and the radiators should have been here Friday on FedEx. Well, turns out the last tracking on the radiator showed them in Grove City, Ohio, which is about 5 hours away from here, south of Columbus. But anyway, they were coming FedEx and they didn't show up. Last tracking still shows them lost somewhere around Grove City, Ohio. And they were there Wednesday, and they never made an appearance yet, and there's no tracking movement since Wednesday. Alright, but yesterday I spent the day making up 2 more fittings. Okay, so these are the new bulkhead fittings that are going to come out. I've already got one just kind of temporarily put in place there, and then this one will go to the other side. These are the brand new ones. I made them out of a chunk of aluminum, big block of aluminum that you see me making like this fitting out of. I had some of that left over. I didn't have any round stock. I got some round stock, but it's it's like 3-inch, and I didn't want to waste it on these. And these were the other 2 fittings that came out of the plane that I just cut the 1-inch nipple off the back and was able to run a 1/2-inch pipe tap in and put the brass fitting in. I can't find my Teflon tape anywhere. I can't find it out here nowhere. Can't find it in the house nowhere. So somewhere it's lost. So I gotta put these in with Teflon tape. And then this morning I went to the grocery shopping and I stopped at Lowe's and I went and grabbed another one of those fittings. These are the 2 originals, and then this one and the one in here is the ones I made yesterday. So I had got a hell of a mess going again. Just kind of blew all the chips out underneath there. But I can't find my Teflon tape to save my life. And I didn't really like it anyway because it's a real wide piece. They're like 3/4 inch wide, inch wide. It's too thick, too wide for this anyway. But anyway, I've bought some hose too at Lowe's this morning. This is just some 5/8 inch, 7/8 OD, 10 foot long. This is stuff I said it was like $22. So it's hooked to the back of the nipple, and then the nut's holding it in place. It still needs tightened down, but I'm not tightening it down yet. But the hose is down in there. You can probably just make out it, see it going down and out the bottom. If you'll be able to see it this way or not, but either way, it's coming up through here. And the idea is I will attach this to the fitting that'll be on the coolers like this. So the fitting's going to come up in here, and it's going to be back actually up in here. So the hose will come off of that and snake up through. But what I'll do is I'll put the hose on here, take it off the nipple up top, and I'll slide the whole radiator up in there and have it still have the whole hose coming out the top end. And then I'll look down in, see where I want it, mark it, cut it off, and then it'll hook back up. And I'll do the same thing for the bottom. Both of these fittings will be up top. One will be up here, and the other one will be on the bottom of the radiator, and just the hose will pass. So both of the hoses now will literally pass up through here in the top, up in that high spot. So they'll both go up in there, and then I'm going to need to make a little tin aluminum cover to cover up the hoses, so the air will actually be directed through the radiator, not up, over, and down and out. So it'll be blocked off across the top, and it'll be blocked off over here. While I was up there, I looked for some of that pipe insulation. I got some that came with I had to replace my hot water heater on Thanksgiving Day. And it come with some of that foam, split foam, looks like pool noodles with a hole, 3/4 inch hole in it, and a slit. You slip it over the pipe to help keep the hot water in the pipe itself. Well, I went looking for that after I found this, and I found 2 different types. I found that style, but they were a little smaller in diameter, which is nice because I need to get it so it'll fit in here. And it was the same kind of plasticky looking foam insulation. And then there was some other stuff out there that was more like a foam rubber, and it was a lot softer and smaller in diameter, which is going to work perfect in here. And they come in 6-foot lengths, and they got a slit, and they got peel off plastic so they can stick together, so they got sticky edges. But They're only 6 foot long. Each one of these tubes here are going to be in the 2 foot range. So you're looking at about 8 feet. So I'd have to buy 2 of those things. And I want to say they're like $10 a piece. But after seeing it and thinking, it was like, that's the kind of material that you put on air conditioning hose that comes from an outside home air conditioning system where the cooler unit's outside. And then when the tubing, it's usually flexible copper tubing that comes into the house, that's what generally is wrapped around the outside of it. So I didn't buy it because I wanted to make sure. I had to move the tank to look down in here, see if I have enough room for it to physically wrap around there and the whole thing will still fit in there. Because once I get it done, that stuff will wrap around the hose, be all the way, it'll be stuck together, and I'll probably tape it up or tie wrap it up to give it even better. But it's nice and small, and it's not very big compared to the hose, and it's a foam rubber, and that should help keep the heat from heat soaking out of the hose into the cabin, into the plane, making it super hot in there while I was flying. So that's all I managed to get done because I don't have the coolers. I can't do anything. I need to go buy some tape, and I'm going to go and get that insulation too, at least one of them. And then once I get these 2 radiators, which hopefully will show up in the next day or so, once I feel that they're going to work good, then I'll go ahead and put the order in for 2 more. But the problem is, Christmas being on Thursday, I'm not going to see them probably for another week. Even if I ordered them early enough tomorrow or Tuesday, I won't see them until, even though they come FedEx, I really had better hope out of FedEx deliveries. I mean, these came, they weren't scheduled to come until yesterday, and I got them Friday. So there's 6 of them. You get 2 in the back. This is the package that came in. So I've got 6 total because I need 8. 2 radiators, 4 fittings, 2 for per side, 2 left side, 2 right side. So there'll be 8 of them. So I've got 8 of them. So there's these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6, 7, and the 8th one's over there. So I'm good there. And then also, I don't know if you can, I tried to show you this the last time, and I don't know if this will reach back here, but I was talking about my tail wheel. You can see the vertical post on that tail wheel. I took the leaf spring and I flipped it over. It was humped up over because it was laying, the top of that there was laying this hose. Not hose with this cord. I'm trying to see if I just shed some light back here. This is what I was mentioning last video about Joe's plane. If this is perfectly vertical, which is pretty straight right now, ideally you'd want it to lay like this, which is a no-no for tail wheels. You don't want this forward and the wheel backwards because it promotes tail wheel shimmy. But watching videos of tail wheel shimmy, I found out that it's this assembly up here that's actually twisting. And when it twists, it automatically throws the tail wheel on the side. So then the tail wheel grabs and tries to whip it back, and then it twists the other way. And it's just this vicious back and forth twisting. But because these wars are bolted in with this retract linkage, this thing folds up, pulled back in there. None of this stuff can twist. So you don't have that typical problem. So right now it's fairly straight, if maybe a little bit, but I'm looking to put in a slight bend right here to bend it a little more to give her a few degrees forward and see how that works. And the only drawback to doing this steerable tail wheel is pushing the plane backwards. That wheel wants to flop, and it won't do a 360 swivel. Before it full swivel, it was easy to push in. The tail would just swivel all the way up front here, and then as you push it back in. But this plane's always pretty light that I can pick this tail up and walk it in backwards. But so I seeing how I couldn't do anything with coolant, I popped this all apart, flipped this spring over, and it's pretty nice there. And when that folds up in there and these doors close, the wheel's in the perfect spot. So, and then once that's done, I want to see if this will move once it's up in there. But I have to hook up power to the motor to reverse and get that pulled. So I just did that real quick to see, because it was really, really bad laid back, which is positive caster, and this is negative caster, and you always want a lot of positive caster, because in the front wheel in a car where the wheels are in the front have caster, it self-centers, and you know, you let go of the steering wheel and the wheels pull straight. That's because of that positive caster, I believe. Negative on a tail wheel is a no-no, but it will still have a more of a tendency for that wheel to want to self-center because it's laying at an angle. If you pull it off to the side, it literally lifts the plane up when it comes to the side, and its tendency is it wants to go back down to a neutral position. So even though it's not full swivel, so that's all I did today. Fiddled around with that fittings and hoses, just snuck it up in there to check the path and see how much room I had. So until I get the radiators, the new coolers, I can't do anything else. I'm going to run back to the store tomorrow and I'll get some more Teflon tape, and I'll probably go buy that piece of foam. Like I said, that thing was $22 just for that 10 feet of hose. And the fitting was like $6. So, see, took everything back out of here. Fuel line, pulled the tank off, so it always tends to leak. Except those are the two cables for Joe, if you haven't seen it. There's how I got the bottom one is the tail wheel, and the top one is the rudder. And then I got the turnbuckle on there so I can tension it up, make sure all the play is out of that. So, and then if I don't like that, I can take that turnbuckle out and replace it with a spring, a real heavy spring, to where when you give full rudder, because I can do full rudder deflection. Let's see if I can. That's pretty much full rudder, and that's probably over at least 20 degrees, and that's probably overkill because it doesn't. That rudder is extremely sensitive. So I think that's about all I got to talk about. I just want to keep this video a little short. Don't need to ramble on too much, but I'm all ready, you know, to get them hoses in there as soon as I get my radiators. Everything's back together and get the tank back on and get the thing fired up. I still have to safety wire the cover screws on the bottom for access into the fuel tank. I've seen some of them will have a little wet, a little drip, so I think it's coming down around through the screws, even though I put some silicone on there. See if I can find some other material that's pervious to fuel. But it was, when I took that off the other day, it had a wet spot of fuel underneath one of the screws. So, because the screws go right up into the tank. And then what I've been doing is, you can see I got my furnace going, got the door cracked open, turn on the fan, and this helps keep the garage warm. Because, let's see, Thursday out driving, it got to 58 degrees in Erie on Thursday. And then Friday it dropped into the low 20s. And then yesterday it was supposed to be like low to mid 40s, but it didn't see that till almost dark, late evening. And then today again, it's right back down in the low 20s, and it's just nasty. But even with the torpedo heater running and that thing running on yesterday, I could just feel the cold on my feet. You know, it was just cold. Today it wasn't bad. So, and that of course is out of fuel. I turn it on just to heat it up enough in here so I can come out and do this quick video. But it's on empty and it's still lit, and then I unplugged it, just threw some heat in. So right now, before I forget, turn that off. By leaving the door closed like that, if I leave it wide open, those heating elements in there will be on full bore. I need to keep the heat in there and just let it leak out. Otherwise that thing will be on full bore the whole time. Turn this off. So, but it's enough to help. I mean, it'd keep this whole garage warm without the torpedo heater, and it doesn't stink or smell and make a lot of noise like that torpedo heater. Let's turn this junk off. There we go. It worked. Alright, so that's going to do her. Again, for anybody that might have missed, this is what I'm waiting to come. So the hoses are going to be on like this. One on here, and then both hoses come out. But they'll be, like I said, there'll be two of these in each wing, so this will crisscross to one side, and then that'll be out that way, and then that other hose will come out between the two here. So you'll have two hoses coming out essentially like this. Around everything. So one's actually going to have the fitting coming out, or it's actually going to come out like that. And then this one will have the hose back here, and it'll come out there, and there'll be a fitting from here to here, just a crisscrossing hose. So the coolant will come in on one side, flow through, crisscross the other, flow through, and then back out this way and out. Because all the fittings on those are on top. So, so essentially just like that. Okay, that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully that stuff will be moving and I'll see it tomorrow or Tuesday. Actually today is payday for YouTube, so they don't pay on Sundays. You got to wait till tomorrow to get paid. And this month I actually made $138. That would be for the month of November. December is still calculating, so by the end of the month I hope to break. Basically I've been doing between $110 to $130 or so a month is all I've been getting in with the videos. So it helps. Better than nothing, you know. It's basically free. So, all right, everybody, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and end this now and go in and get in out of this cold. It's coming up on 4:30 now. It's just nasty to work. Most of our snow had melted last night again. So. Okay, everyone, that's going to do her. As always, appreciate everybody taking time to watch my videos. Feel free to leave comments, questions, or concerns. And appreciate the ones that people leave now. And as always, don't be afraid to leave comments. Okay, that's going to do her. And I will more than likely see you again on Tuesday night. And hopefully I'll have these radiators and have something more to show. Okay, everybody, take care. And I will see you again Tuesday.